Right, so in here, let me go ahead and create a brand new branch that I can then push and then see this workflow in action. So in here, let me go ahead and pretty much use IntelliJ to create a branch. So from here, I'm going to click on this branch icon. And in here, I'm going to create a new branch. So new and then branch. And then here, I'm going to say test dash and then build dash workflow. Just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the project tab, and in here let's navigate to src, and then inside we have this test folder, and so far we have this demo application.tests, which doesn't do anything. So what I want you to do is in here, let's say assertions dot and then fail, and then I'm going to say oops, test and then failed, and there we go. So now I'm going to press Command K, and this allows me to basically commit this change, and then I'm going to say make test and then fail, and then here I can just commit and push. There we go. I'm going to push this branch to remote, and now if I go to GitHub, in here we should see a branch in a second. Oh, actually, if I reload the page, you can see that we have this branch right here, test build workflow. Now remember, I said that the build workflow, so in here, so the build workflow will happen or will be triggered once we create a pull request. So let's go ahead and create a pull request. So here I'm going to say compare and pull request, or you can do it from here. So let me just click on this link right here, and in here you can basically have, for example, a comment, so on and so forth, but I'm just going to leave things as is, and then I'm going to say create and then pull request. Now I want you to see something. So in here, have a look. So we have, so basically this branch cannot be merged. So actually I can merge it because I'm an admin, but this branch has this check, which is the CI and then / build, and this is in progress. And you can see that this is actually red, right? It is red, and basically in order for it to be green, this build right here has to pass. Now I can click on details, and that will take me to the actual build. So if I click on it, you can see that this takes me to basically in here, so checks, and you can see that this is actually running some steps. So here, initialize containers, checkout, set up Java, and then Maven clean package, and you've seen this before. So npm install, so this is using the Maven front-end plugin that we installed, and just give it a second. There we go, and have a look, creating an optimized production build. So you've seen this throughout this course where we ran Maven clean install and then -capital P and then build front end, right? So this is doing the exact same thing, but running using GitHub Actions. So this is really cool. So we are automating all of that process. Then it should run the tests. There we go. And the tests now are running, and basically you'll see that this will fail. So this build will fail, and there we go. So right here, if I expand this, and you can see what the error was. So the error was, and also you can see that basically we are connecting to the database that we've just set up in this step. So initialize containers. And basically here you can see that we have the database, and this is a Docker image. Basically everything that we've done in our local machine, we are just using within GitHub Actions. But if I go back to Maven clean package, you can see in here, so if I scroll down, you can see that the test failed, in here, and check this out. Oops, test failed. So this is our message, which means that this GitHub action build failed, and therefore we cannot merge this pull request. So this is cool. So right here you can see that we have a list of steps. So set up, initialize containers, run checkout. So this checks out the code locally, and then we set up Java, we run Maven, clean package, and then we have some post steps as well. Now, if I go back to conversation in here, I just want you to see something. Have a look. So this has failed. So all checks have failed. And also, you saw that basically by clicking on this link, it takes me to this section right here, and you can see the actual workflow. But if I basically click on actions, so we have a dedicated tab in here, actions, and you can see all of these actions right here. So I actually been playing with some actions, but the one that I'm interested in is this one here, right? Test build workflow. Now I can click on it, and basically you can see information about it. And if I click on build, you can see that this takes me to the exact same page, and it took me right to the failing section right here, which is this one. Oops, test failed. So you can see the power of this, right? So now what I'm going to do is, let me just go back to IntelliJ, and in here, let me just comment this out for now. And I'm going to commit this. So I'm going to tick this, and I'm going to say make test and then pass, commit and push. There we go. Now if I go back in here, and if I go back to my pull request, so pull request, and you can see that the build has already been queued. So here, queued, and if I click on it, you can see that it's actually now running again. Now again, I can click on details from here, or I can go to actions in here, or checks in here. So whatever you prefer. So let me click on checks, and you can see that this is actually running. So I've just clicked there and then go to build, and it's the exact same thing. So now I'm just going to wait until this succeeds. But basically here again, you can see all the environments. So all the environment variables that we have, and then running Maven. And in a second, this should pass, and we should have a green build. Now it's running the tests. And there we go. And you can see that this time the build should go green. And check this out. So this is really cool. Now, if I go back to pull requests in here, and then you can see that we have a check mark success. If I click on it, and you can see that all checks have passed. So this is really cool. Now you can see that this has actually a review required. So this is because I've actually set up so that someone has to review these changes. But because I'm an admin, I can actually squash and merge, and then this will go off to the main or master branch. And what we've done is just this workflow in here. So check out the code, set up Java, set up Postgres, Maven clean package, and then it's okay to merge. So this is cool. Next, let me go ahead and teach you about the deploy workflow, which is a little bit more interesting. So I'm actually, for this pull request, I'm not going to merge it, because if I merge it, it will trigger this workflow. So I'm just going to hold on to that one. But you can see the power of GitHub Actions. Catch me on the next one.